The Treasury says the pension age should rise to 72. Now, this from a report where it says the government debt will be 200% of GDP in 2065. To keep the superannuation bill at 5.1% of GDP, Treasury says the age needs to gradually increase to, get this, 72 over the next 40 years. So around the panel, should we have an extra 7 years before we can claim a pension? This one, politically, Ruwani, it's not going to go away, but I feel 72. Oh, it feels quite old.
I know. The only thing, I mean, I'm already realistic that I will probably not get the pension when I'm 65. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm a little bit way away from that. But I have been very interested. I was recently away and looking at the Japanese experience, and I can see New Zealand heading in that entire direction because they don't have the tax revenue.
Remind us of the Japanese experience.
The huge ageing population over there, so they're all drawing on the pension. There's not much tax revenue. That the workers are going down, and this is what's happening here, right? And that's what's tanked their economy as well.
Sue Bradford, raise the superann, no brainer.
Do not raise the super age of super because the people who will be worst impact are Māori, Pacifica people, low-income people, women and people with disability, the people in the low-wage occupations or people with no occupation at all. And you only have to look at what's happened with pay equity and the huge inequities of that, and then transpose that to superannuation. And you have
you don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen though, isn't it?
Well, it's up to governments. And what gets me about this Treasury report, not only should the age be raised to 72, but they're also talking about raising GST to 32%, which is, I don't know how many people picked that up.
I didn't see that.
Hang on.
These are both.
Did you say 32%?
32%. These are massively redistributive policies towards regressive taxation. So Treasury's only seeing all this through one light, which is to hammer into the people who have least in our society, who are economically least well off in both cases.
Okay, that's a
and
hard
not looking at other solutions.
So
and there are many other solutions.
Keep it at
to
65 or lower it to 60?
Keep it at 65 and improve the welfare system massively.
Okay, all right. David Farrar, raise the age to 72 over time?
And more 70 than 72. But look, what they said is if you don't lower the cost of super, then you would need to increase GST to 32% to pay for it. We've gone from where there's 7 working age people for 1 retired people to it's going to be a 2-to-1 ratio. People are living to 95, 100, 60. Well, when I say 65 isn't sustainable, since I've been in my 30s, I've been trying to get it increased, so I won't get it when I'm 65. I'm now 7 years away, and I admit defeat, though. I will be getting it when I'm 65.
Okay, so what do you think of that? That it's an it's a financial balloon we're facing. We just can't afford it.
That's not true. It depends how you tax. And there's budgets and governments are always about how the income comes in and how it goes out. And I would point people to the Green Party's budget as an example of how recently put out, which is an example of how you can completely switch how you earn money and how you spend it. It's not the only way, but it's a recent example in this country that I think worth a good look. We do not have to listen to what Treasury says. Yes, we have to fund ourselves, but how we do that can vary hugely in who we take the tax from.
Well, it requires major tax reform, doesn't it?
Would you split? But would you go in the middle? So David Farrar wants the retirement age at 70. Ruwani, what about 68?
I thought 67 was quite a good number, and following our dearest Aussies.
Compromising, Sue Bradford, 67?
No, I'm not prepared to compromise on this because so many people are already in desperate situation long before they hit 65. 65, at least that's the point at which they can get some relief from being at the mercy of the welfare system if they're very low income or out of work.
All right.